We're really pleased to be here too, and we've been talking from the policy and the partner level, and we're going to end with what really happens in the classroom too. So I'm thrilled to have my level 7 ESL teacher with us who's really helped us transform how we think about bridging classes. And your question of the day is, how is Miracosta's ESL program like a pear? or used to be like a pear, okay? Goodness, that doesn't show up very well. Okay, a little bit about our program. We're from one of the best community colleges in the state. And certainly one of the best non-credit programs. In the Southern. Yeah. We're medium-sized. We have the adult high school, ABE, GED program, and FTS is like ADA. We're on 9-week terms. And then we have a non-credit ESL program, which has 7 levels. We have vocational ESL, citizenship, digital storytelling. We're twice as large as the ABE ESL program. And of course, we have other non-credit for older adults, which is kind of shrinking a little bit. But what's probably unique about Miracosta is that we make up anywhere from 15 to 20% of the total college FTES, and the non-credit ESL program is the 4th largest program in the college. So we get a lot of attention that way. Another thing is that we're very large non-credit ESL, and our credit ESL program is smaller. So there's always been a discussion about how do we bring more non-credit ESL students to credit, and also ABE and high school diploma. Don't want to do that. Well, this is what our students see every time they come to a program orientation. And you can probably see it better from your slides, but they're told from the minute they come to any one of our orientations, welcome to college. We don't say welcome to our non-credit ESL program or welcome to ESL. We say welcome, you're a student at Miracosta College and you have many opportunities. And they start on Getting Started Street, which is where they do all their registration, and then they travel along the levels. They have an options boulevard where they can go to Vessel, digital storytelling, or citizenship, and then they have a decision circle where they can kind of decide, well, I'm not done yet, because you're not, and that's the message we've been hearing all day. This is just one part of your journey. And then we talk about what courses they can take at our center and what they can take at 2 different campuses. So the message is always, you know, you're in college. How many people here are from a community college, okay, that have non-credit program? Because the next question, you're going to smile. How hard can it be then? We're a college. We've got it all together. Transition's really easy. You just take them here and you move them over here. Gretchen's shaking her head. It's hard, guys, and it's hard for a lot of reasons. There's different locations to register for different programs. There's different applications. There's different tests, as the cohort heard yesterday, and the cohort's going to hear tomorrow. At our college, our credit English has a test that's different, not just in content, but developer, than credit math. Our ESL non-credit program uses CASAS, and our adult high school ABE program uses TABE. So how to figure out all this testing information and make good recommendations is tough too. So when you're sitting back and saying, well, how can Sylvia have any issues with transitioning students? Believe me, there's issues. And I think to make transitions happen, what we're going to focus on is 4 things. There's things that we felt we had to do to change the structure of our program. And I want you to think about the issue about the environment that a student finds success that they talked about today. And there's things that we have to do as far as faculty leadership. God bless you. And then there's things that we have to do in terms of curriculum. And we've talked about all this today, the important things that happen in the curriculum. And then there's the whole transition support. And we have really decided it's very high touch. And there's just no way, we can't figure out a way around that. So So given that it's very high touch, what can you do in this budget climate and with limited resources? So here it is. There's MiraCosta. I know from now on people are going to say, oh, you're the pear lady. What I wanted to talk about was in 1998, this is kind of what our program looked like. And this is not a program, if you're going from the bottom to the top, that you're going to get very many people out. We had a lot of immigration in 1998 and lots of beginning level students. And every dime we got, we put more beginning level classes. I mean, you know, we were meeting the need. We served students anytime they wanted to come for anything they needed. And so students were kind of floundering through. And then on the top, that was our advanced club. These students have been with us for years now in this wonderful, comfortable zone. And every year, they got better, and their skills got higher, so nobody could get in the club. It's not possible to get in the advanced club. So we definitely had to look at those problems. We talked to our students too, and they didn't know how to really move through the program. They were certainly happy in their classes, but if you asked them, well, you know, they said to us in focus groups, well, how do we get out of this program, or how do we go to the next program? And remember that our advanced students never left. And we didn't, even though we were 10 miles away to our credit program, we didn't really talk to each other. So we tried, but we were really busy in different things, and we weren't really communicating well. And I take just as much responsibility for that as my credit colleague. So what do we do? Everything I'm talking about, if you go to our website at miracostacollege.edu, non-credit ESL is up there. We've got our outcomes, our assessments. We might have stolen them from you. If we did, we put your name on them, but please steal them from us, because I love adult education. We're a very sharing group. First thing we did is we said, really, our students aren't so different than some of the students we've been talking about in terms of they don't have forever to go to school either. So we decided that we were going to structure our program into terms. And the purpose of the terms, the 9-week terms, was to take a look at them every 9 weeks and say, are you ready to go or not? You don't have to go, but if we have student learning outcomes and we have assessments, let's take a look and see if you're ready to go. What came out of that, of course, is our persistence went way up, because students can commit for limited periods of time, just like at the college. They can commit to that, and then they have to stop out, and then they can come back maybe. And also, we promoted about 50% of our students every 9 weeks, we found out. Not at all levels. The beginning levels, we promoted a lot quicker. At the higher levels, they're going slower, and that's okay. But we're looking at them. The other thing we did is we all talked together, and we figured out this must only happen at MiraCosta, but we were actually, within one level, had different standards. Couldn't happen anywhere else, right? So we had to meet together by levels and say, what are our student learning outcomes per level? We had to agree on them, and we had to put our assessment benchmarks with them, and we had to make decisions. Okay, then this is how we're going to promote. It's still teacher decision, but there's some real strong guidelines, so when a student comes and talks to me, I can say, well, I looked at the guidelines, and you know, you're falling within this area. And then the biggest thing is we helped our advanced level students understand that this was not home, that they were actually going to leave the program. There was a really big culture difference, and we told them about what it would be to leave the program, and congratulations, you're going to leave the program. In the beginning, it was shock. You're not sending us out. Where would we go? But now it's actually 100 to 150 ESL students finish our program every year, and it's a very conscientious thing we do. For level 6 and level 7 students, on the 4th week of every 9-week term, a counselor comes in and talks to them and tells them, they go over that thing again. You know, you're going along this road. Let's talk about your options. How close are you getting to making decisions? Let's talk about that. The conversations there. Level 7 students, every 9 weeks, they meet individually with a counselor. If they're going to be promoted, they meet. And if they're not going to be promoted, they know it's coming. So they're meeting with a counselor. And the language is all success. So it's not talking, the conversation is not you have to go, but how successful you are. And then we recognize that some students that leave our program, we might not be able to serve in some other ways, but we have to open up our program so that level 5, 6 can come up and be in that. So now we're not a pair. If you remember me for the pair, try to think of me more as a cylinder, where we actually have students moving pretty regular. And actually, we have more right now at our higher levels than at our beginning level. The next part of it, so we changed the program structure. The next part was the committed faculty part. And we're like most non-credit and adult school programs, we mainly have part-time faculty. But we have a commitment to have full-time faculty. It's really important. And we worked with our credit colleagues. So at our college, you have to go and advocate for a full-time faculty member, all the departments, non-credit and credit. So you have to get buy-in from your credit colleagues because, you know, if they can get 2 biology people, they might not want a non-credit ESL. So the credit ESL person and I lobbied together, and we convinced the college that there's a push-pull factor. Non-credit has to push out. We were happy to do that. But somebody has to be pulling on the other side. And so because we were bigger, we got the push first. So Ruth is the push. But we went in together, credit and non-credit ESL, saying, we need this faculty person. We need this leadership. The following year, I went in with the credit counselor to advocate for the pull faculty, to say, now we work together. It was a tremendous message to the college, because just like you talk about adult school, community college, believe it or not, within a community college, there can be some turf, yeah, I think so. There can be some turf issues about non-credit credit. So when a department comes in united and says, this is how we can help you for the students, it was a really different message. And then Ruth's role was to really meet regularly with the credit faculty and work on our curriculum, to make our curriculum make sense to our students. And she'll talk more about that. We piloted a set, we couldn't do anything about changing the tests. There's always going to be, right now, the credit program wants to use Compass ESL. We need to use CASAS. We couldn't change that. But we did a dual assessment. So all of levels 4 through 7, we tested using the credit Compass ESL at the end of their 9-week term. This gave us assurance that our level 7 students that completed could actually go to the next level with assurance. We had that score comparison. It also helped us this way. Sometimes students are going to one of the campuses saying, I want an ESL class, and they test and they're too low. So instead of telling that student, you got to get in your car and you got to drive 10 miles down the road and you got to go through a whole nother assessment and you got the normal thing, we had their test score, we'd already done the comparison, we could just put them in a level. Welcome to Mira Costa College. You're just going to be at a different campus, and we're going to help you here, and then we're going to move you over there. So that was a really important piece to do that kind of, if you have those, to do that. And then we had a credit faculty member who visited regularly. And now, Ruth, you're going to talk about curriculum.
So we've heard a lot of great ideas this morning and this afternoon also. And talking about curriculum, I'm going to sort of show you what the level 7 class looks like. And it's kind of the practical side of a lot of what we've heard this morning. First, there's the focus on academic study skills, and that's with preparing the students for college. And that includes study skills like note-taking skills, and that can be done, I'm sure each instructor does note-taking skills differently in their own way. I've done it where I would present the students with a note-taking sheet that has blanks where they have to fill in the information based on what they're hearing, whether it's a lecture. I've also used it as a revision tool, where if it were